Alright, welcome everybody to the Consolation tournament for BBL Season 7, where those who didn't make the playoffs but wanted to keep playing do get the chance at another mini-tournament. Even though I went 2-12 and had my roughest season yet, still wanted to play some more, so here I am. I've been matched against the Hornets, who very notably had a rough season of their own, although they went 4-10, double the wins of my team. In any case, we're now going to see which team is actually worse as we face off in the series. I'm actually pretty optimistic about it. I think I'm finally on the upswing with good scores in the last 2 weeks. And I have never lost the first round of a postseason. So let's hope. Here's hoping that keeps up. So this is going to be a best-of-3 series, so we'll be playing at least 2 games. Hornets, with more wins, got the right to choose whether to be home or away. They chose to be home for the first and third games, which suits me quite well. I think I play better away than at home. Playground Commons game, so let's see. Stewart has a small nerf, but only a small fielding and pitching nerf. Other than that, everybody's normal, so no significant good or bad days. I will take that. I gotta shuffle around my defense some because all mixed up from this being a new file. There we go. Alright, so the Hornets had a not super defense, a very power-based and slow team, which made them very frustrating, I think, for their coach Mystery to play with whenever they weren't performing so well. And, ooh, that's already one good break for me. Cliff Floyd in left field is down from 9 speed to 6. That's going to be hopefully significant and help me squeeze out that many more hits. Annie Frazier in center field and the big weak spot of Petr Chekhov in right. Similarly, Terry Vega at second, not a good fielder. Frank Thomas at first is sturdy but slow. The entire infield is very slow, although everyone except Terry has good arms. But Zena, also with a bad day here, only 3 running and 3 fielding, so multiple significant bad days on the Hornets here, making things look good for me. They do have Sarah Maxwell behind the plate, one of the best catchers probably in the league. I'm not sure exactly how good her arm is, but wouldn't be surprised if I can't steal second at all. On the whole, though, favorable setup. Let's see what I can do with it as we dive right in. Angelique Harding, the starting pitcher for the Hornets, if I'm not mistaken. She is useless on offense and slow, but has a good arm, so I need to be a bit careful. Still, a decent hit towards the third base line should be enough to get Stewart on first base successfully. Fouls it off, 1-1. And 1-2 the count as Stewart fouls multiple balls off. I'd prefer to put it in play. I don't like having one of my speedsters with 2 strikes on them. Makes me nervous. It always sucks to strike out with one of them. Fortunately, I had enough presence of mind to take that one for ball 2. And a beautiful hit towards the third base line. Angelique cannot get to that in time. Yep, decent arm, but there was no play to be made there. So, single for Stewart to start things off on the right foot. Let's see what Alexis can do next, and also see just how good of a catcher Sarah Maxwell is. Too good. Okay, yeah, I'm not stealing any bases on that arm. Good to know, unfortunately. Fairly minimal cost for finding that out. 0-2 on Alexis, though, with a couple of not great pitches for me by Angelique. Let's see if she can give me something more meaty. So that is one strong spot on the Hornets, which was mentioned during the... And a nice one right up the middle. Unfortunately, one hop straight to Annie, who's able to throw it into second on time for the first out. Yikes. That there was definitely a bad break there. Stewart was slowed down just enough by it being in the air at first. And the ball bounced straight to Annie. She was able to throw out Stewart at second, so yeah, well, there you go. Sarah Maxwell already making a big difference there. Also, I don't know why I stole second there. I was just absent-minded, I guess. Fortunately, it worked out here as Maxwell flubbed the first throw, then threw up past third. So Alexis on second, that's good. That was reflexes, though. I wasn't thinking about that. And a perfect-looking pitch, unfortunately. I think I swung a little early. Fouled it off. But yeah, Stewart out on a play like that was definitely a bad break. Lulu hits a decent-looking one straight to the pitcher, but Frank is nowhere near the bag. For some reason, the shift pushing him away from first base, and he takes too long to get there, so Angelique threw too early, turning it into a double. So runners on second and third with one out. Tanya up. Angela on deck. Let's see if we can get on the board here. In theory, ought to be able to, but this team has squandered plenty of opportunities like this season, so I'm not going to take it for granted. And a couple of really nasty corner pitches there by Angelique to make the count 0-2 on Tanya. We'll see if I can tire Angelique out or chase her off the mound later, but right now she's really making things tough for me. Over to left, Cliff getting over to get it. He is able to do so. So pop out to left field, nothing doing there, and it's 2 outs. With Angela Del Vecchio, the hitter. Let's see if she can get a good hit and drive some runs in, or if this is just going to be another case where my hitters can't come in clutch. That's looking good, but that's too high. Annie's going to get it. I think she has a play. If she doesn't, I'm scoring 2 runs, but she does have the play. So once again, hitters unable to come through in the clutch situations. They just pop out. No runs for the Melonheads in the first, despite 3 hits. Definitely disappointing. I was hoping that this was the start of a turnaround here, but maybe not so much. We'll see what we can do through the rest of the game, though. Cliff hits one up towards short. Tony has a little trouble fielding it, but not too much, able to make the throw. That bad day for Cliff coming in handy here. He would have been safe on a normal day, but the speed nerf got him out. And Sarah grounds one up the first base line. Stephanie can't quite get it, so that's going to be a single for Maxwell. Runner on first. 1 out with Xena Frome. She has a small hitting nerf, I think at 8 hitting. Could still be a threat at the plate, it's hard to tell. And Maxwell on first definitely has the potential to be a problem, especially if Xena hits it well. Fouled off the first pitch, though. And takes strike 2, 0-2 the count. And swing and a miss for strike 3. So Angela strikes out Xena on 3 pitches for the second out. Let's bring up Petra Chekhov. Has a bat, but nothing else. Maxwell does break for second. Tony makes the throw. He makes it on time. We get the tag for the 3rd out. Alright, so well played, bottom of the inning overall. Let's see if we can start scoring some runs here in the second. Vicky leading things off. So far, the big advantage I have against this team is that it takes them forever to get in a position where they can throw the ball to first base. So hopefully that'll come into play here, and Vicky will be able to make it despite not being as fast as Stewart and Lulu. I'm pretty sure that would have been a complete miss if I'd swung at it. Hoping to ground that one down the line, but Vicky fouls it off instead. 1-2 the count. Angelique inducing a lot of foul balls here. And took strike 3 on a close one, unfortunately. It was in the strike zone. First out. Angelique is pitching well so far. She's going to need to slip a bit in that respect if I'm to get much of anywhere this game. Stephanie Morgan, the hitter. Strike 1. Actually, that was a really meaty pitch. The swing spot deceived me there. And strike 2 on another high one. Lots of heats coming from Angelique. Hopefully that's doing something to her stamina. And she didn't just get him more juice. Stephanie hits a nothing ball. Should be an easy out, but Frank has taken forever to get to the bag. Took long enough, and Maxwell waited to throw it until he was there. That was just enough time for Steph to make it to base, so Great hustle by Stefan. We have a runner on first with Fernando the hitter. Fernando had a rough regular season. Let's see if he can pop back into form here in the Consolation. Angelique continuing to give me some really unappealing pitches here. Looks like she's just trying to get my hitters to ground out continually. 0-2 the count on Fernando, but high inside there for ball one. Fernando fouls a good-looking one off. 1-2 the count. I really hope Angelique did not get a juice box from that strikeout. 2-2 the count. She has thrown almost 30 pitches through 2 innings. That's one good thing here. That might have been a ball, might have been a strike, I'm not sure. Fortunately, Fernando's able to foul it off, so no harm done. And that's too poppy, I think. Well, let's see. Helton going out. Yeah, Helton's got it. Helton's got it for the out. All my hits carrying too much right now. Too much pop. Alright, 1 on, 2 outs. Tony D is up. I don't want to just get a single with him, so we're swinging for the fences here. And he smacks one well. That's not going out, but that's going to be a hit, I think. We'll see. Cliff tracking it down. Bounces off the back of his head. Steph makes it to third without much trouble. Tony going for second. Proved to be a bad idea. He's able to make it back to first, though. Runners on the corners with Stuart Sullivan coming up. Unfortunately, Tony's too slow, so unless some really bad stuff happens to the Hornets fielding here, this is going to be the third out, and Stuart wasted, sadly. Alright, well, Angelique did not get a more juice we now know as she tosses a spitball in there. Unfortunately to the wrong part of the strike zone. And a second spitball. Angelique really tiring herself out now. Probably at least 20 pitches so far this inning. Lots of heaters and a couple of spitballs. You know, spitball's not going to totally wreck your stamina, but they're not going to help it. Stewart takes strike 2. Another outside pitch. Whew! If I'd been paying more attention to the pitcher, I would have swung at that and probably struck out. I don't know why I was so focused on canceling the hit and run. Because of the thought of ball. That's right. Outside for ball 3. So full count for Stewart. If he draws a walk here, it'll be Alexis Weiss up. He does not draw the walk, but hits a little dribbler, and Angelique is completely gassed. No play at second base. So we've got the bases loaded here with 2 outs. No runs on the board yet, so let's see if we can take advantage of this and get out to a good score here, or if Alexis just pops out or something and we continue to not score. Frank Thomas coming on to pitch here in the second. He is a good pitcher, and Alexis does indeed just hit a pop-up, which Xena catches. No score, despite loading up the bases here in the second. This is the same season I've been having continuing. 0 runs and 6 hits after 2 innings. Still plenty of game left, though. We could still put up a decent score in theory. And we did tire out Angelique nicely, so made at least the first step in that particular front. Chattering about that, I don't even know who just lined out. Who is that? Who just lined out? Petra just lined out to short. Bit of problem here, as you can see a lot of my fielders getting a little tired. Hopefully that gets better. Annie Frazier, the hitter, chooses to bunt it, not nearly fast enough to make that work. Second out, and she puts it in an almost perfect place, too, for Angela to have the easy play. Didn't even use up much stamina there. Angelique Harding now up. Don't expect her to be much of a threat at the plate. So, it should be an uneventful second inning. And it is as Angelique does absolutely nothing at her at-bat, just watches 3 strikes go by for one of the easiest strikeouts ever. Out of the second inning, it's still 0-0, and I am hoping that Viscery does not have a good game here. If the Hornets reach the heights that they reached during the regular season, I am probably dead by this point. If not, then We'll see. Luan Louis leading off. Frank with that lovely one pitch there at the start of the inning. Frank is fairly similar as a mound presence to Angelique, except he does have greater reach. Angelique at first base is probably a bigger story. If the defense shifts at all here, it might take forever for her to get to the bag. If I do well, I might get a bunch of players on first base just because there's no one there to make the play. Lulu pops one up there. I don't think Angelique could have got it. She didn't try, and Terry's left to flag it down. He's able to get it, but not in time to do anything about Lulu. So runner on first. Nobody out. Tanya Ichida, the hitter, has been performing roughly ever since I moved her to the cleanup spot. We'll see how she does with one runner on. A good outfield hit would be fantastic right now. A weak pop-up towards short. Todd's got it, but bobbles it at his feet. Gives Lulu enough time to make it to second. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Angela Del Vecchio, the hitter. Here's hoping this is not a double play. Angela has done well on the mound lately, but has had a very rough season in terms of hitting. Only 5 home runs all season, and very little of note beyond that. Frank busts out the spitball, though a single spitball with Frank Thomas is not going to have a significant effect on his stamina. If we're going to get Frank off the mound, it's going to be by scoring 5 runs, I think. And Angela blasts one towards right. That's definitely going off the fence, and we're scoring 2 runs here. Petra throws it in, leaving Angelique to go after it. Well, okay, we'll see how well Angelique can throw the ball. Somewhat okay, but not well enough, so 2 RBI single by Angela. It's 2-0 Melonheads. We're on the board, baby. Excellent hit on the hole by Angela. If that had been to left field, it would have been a home run, I think. Still 2 runs and a nice buffer for Vicky Kawaguchi, who should be able to get to first easily here. They'll just get Angela out at second for the easy play, but that extra play and Terry Vega's weak arm at second makes it easy for Vicky to get on. Runner on first with 1 out for Steph. Honestly, I think at this point, if I grounder balled against this team, I could do quite well. Angelique is gassed, Frank is slow, Terry's slow and has a bad arm, Todd's slow, Zena's having a bad day. I could probably shred this infield if I wanted to, trying for grounder ball, but that's just not how I want to do this, so. Bamboozled once again, and taking a actually rather good pitch. I'm going to have to swing at one like that instead, probably. 1-2 the count for Steph. 2-2 on a somewhat scary heater there. The rare Frank Thomas heater. You can see that one was much slower than someone like Angelique's, reflecting that he's not so skilled with it. Full count on Steph. He's been very patient at the plate here. Let's see if it pays off. And we get a pop-up. And the inevitable error by the catcher on the pop-up. Not even able to pick it up on the rebound, so should have been at least 1 out. Instead, successful single by Steph. Steph really capitalizing on every flaw of the defense here right now. To get 2 singles on what might have been 2 routine groundouts. Runners on first and second. 1 out. Fernando Diaz a hitter. Tony D on deck. Nice one hit down the line, unfortunately just a bit foul. If that had been fair, that would have been absolutely beautiful. As is, we'll have to work a bit harder than that. Fernando fouls the second one off, 0-2 the count. Had to swing at that one with 2 strikes. Called an infield fly on a somewhat interesting call, but, you know, good chance that might have saved me from a double play. And if it did, then I'm happy with that. Tony Del Vecchio up. Runners on first and second. We're going to see if we can drive at least Vicky in. To go for conservative with a line drive. I don't like swinging power with Tony very much. Slightly outside. Not sure how that one would have been if I'd hit it. And blasts one towards left center. Annie is getting over there. Is she going to be in time? Yes, just barely. If Annie had been a bit slower or playing over or whatever, then that would have been a beautiful play. As it is, third out, so 5 more hits in the third inning, but only 2 more runs. 2-0, going into the bottom of the third. Terry Vega, the hitter for the AI Hornets. Angela catches it. There you go. It does happen sometimes. Terry just cuts out the middleman, returning the ball straight to Angela, and that was a very fast first out. Angela only with 13 pitches so far, even though we're here in the third. Usually my pitch counts get rather higher, but the Hornets are able to make contact pretty quickly here against the ball here. Frank with a very long ground out to first. Todd Helton, the hitter, batting last in the Hornets lineup for whatever reason. Lines one towards the gap, but Tanya's able to stop it. Helton's slow enough that we have the play at first, so 3 up. 5 pitches, I think, 3 down. AI Hornets not being very formidable right now. Going into the 4th inning, it's 2-0. Melton Heads, we're hoping to widen that gap here as we're back at the top of the lineup. Stuart Sullivan has 2 singles. I think very good chances of getting a third, because who knows, he very well might beat Angelique to first base. As long as he puts the ball in play on the ground. Yeah. Yep, in play on the ground. There's no play. Okay, that was an interesting case. Maxwell was locked into throwing it to first, so I took advantage of that to swipe second. That's not covered, I think, in the official Lulu rule set. If anyone wants to weigh in on that, I don't know if that's problematic at all. With more time to think about it, I probably would not have done that. Alexis takes strike 1. Okay, got it. Not sure what to do about it in that case, then. Alexis grounds one to third. Okay, well, in this case, I don't think it matters, because I think Stewart would have been safe at second on that play anyway, so no harm, no foul done, I think. Runners on first and second for Lou and Louis. We'll see what we can do here. Might have a little bit of a time getting Alexis to second, depending on where Lou hits the ball. Sharp grounder up. Ooh, straight to Frank. And Stewart is out at third. Alexis does make it safe to second. Stewart makes the sacrifice for the good of all. Maybe if I'd rushed him, he would have been safe, but I don't know. With the force-out rules, even sliding isn't too good, so that gentleman might well just have been hit too hard. In any case, runners on first and second. 1 out for Tanya Uchida. If my hitters can deliver here, I should be able to score some runs without too much trouble, but it's always big. And boom! Happened this time, though. Tanya blasts one out to right center. It's going to take a while for any Hornets to get into that ball. We're scoring 2 more runs here, baby. I think. Tanya barely safe at second, and Todd throwing there instead of home is just what we need to get Lulu across the plate. So 2 RBI double for Tanya Uchida. Hitters delivering, and the Melonheads are now up 4-0. Angela hoping to make that 6-0. If she could hit her first home run in forever, that would be fantastic. Fouls one off. 0-2 the count. Anything that scores Tanya, honestly, is pretty fantastic. Frank now 31 pitches, but I think he's given up all 4 of the runs so far. So if I get 1 more run off of him, he should be going to play somewhere else on the field, and I'll get a weaker pitcher to go up against. I'm not sure if the Hornets have really any pitchers after Frank and Angelique. 2 good pitchers, but if you can chew through them, not necessarily much behind them. Debating going for contact with Angela just to try to drive Tanya in, but I don't know. This one up towards second. Terry Vega able to make the play and able to make the play at first. Tanya's able to get to third, though. So sacrifice pop out by Angela. Let's see if we can deliver on that. Vicky gonna try to get on base, and then Steph or Fernando maybe can hit Tanya in. Vicky 1 for 2 with a single, unless she pulls a Lulu here and hits one straight to the pitcher. I don't think she'll have much trouble getting on base. Rounded up towards third. Ooh, Xena could have gotten it there, but she went to cover third base instead. That meant Vicky had the clear run at first. So runners on the corners, 2 outs. Stephanie Morgan, the hitter, has taken advantage of poor defensive play to get 2 singles so far today. Let's see if she can get a legitimate good gap hit here and driving another run. Going to go for second and bank on Maxwell not going for the throw. Also, that looked like a really good one to hit, but unfortunately I messed up on the timing there and Stephanie squeaked out on it instead. Probably would have been a nice line drive to right that would have scored a run. Oh well. Maxwell did go for the throw for second, so no second. And there you go. There's a nice line drive. Angelique does not get it. Rolls past Petra, so Tanya is going to score. Vicky on her way to third. And not going to go for it. I think Angelique would be able to make the play in time. There you go. RBI single for Stephanie. 5-0 Melonheads. And here comes Todd Helton to pitch. Okay. Unless I'm missing something, he's not a very good pitcher. I'm not sure what he's going to, what tiring him out is going to accomplish, but we'll see. Actually, this might be bad just because he has such a good arm. Might be good for mound defense. On the other hand, Frank, I think, is going to be a definite downgrade at shortstop compared to Todd. So he has to make a bunch of relay throws, then that extra time that it'll take them to reach their target could make a big difference here. Fernando fouls one off, and it is now 1-2. Viscery spying, I see, before playing. Outside. Oh, already played. Cool. That means we'll get a result right away, I guess. Alright, once again, Sarah goes for the play at second, so Sarah's not only a good armed catcher, but a smart one as well. And Todd fools me. Should have swung for it just to be safe, but instead Fernando's out looking. That was a great opportunity to hit another run or two in. Watch it go by instead. That one's completely on me. Still, 3 runs in the fourth, not bad. It's now 5-0. Yep, Cliff Floyd is down to 6 speed, and I think might have had a fielding nerf as well. Xena is down to 3 speed with a significant fielding nerf. On my side, the only change is Stewart slightly back worse at fielding. Sarah Maxwell up. Sarah is at full strength and has definitely been the most dangerous Hornets player. Though Annie probably second place with her performances in center field. Easy pop out by Sarah. Xena from the hitter now. In addition to her other nerfs, she's down to 8 hitting today. Angela looking to get out of 4 innings with just 20 pitches, but Xena hits one deep into center. That does not carry enough, though. Would be a home run on several fields, but not on this one. And even with her speed nerf, it's an easy double. I'm just fortunate that nobody was on base for that one. Alright, runner on second with 2 outs. Petra, the hitter. Petra can hit, so if she nukes one here, then that's trouble for me. As long as she doesn't, though, we're okay. Lines one towards first. Stephanie not able to make the play, but she does stop it from getting farther. Unfortunately, she comes in to try to make the play again with Angela also making the play, which leaves nobody to cover first, so should have gotten the out there, but Petra makes it to first instead. Xena also to third, so runners on the corners with 2 outs. Annie Frazier, the hitter. Hopefully she'll just make some weak contact here and we'll get out of this with no further harm done. But starting to get just a little hairy. And he takes the first 2 pitches. Let's see if we can get Angela's 3rd strikeout of the game. Slightly outside there. I'm a little afraid at this point of her putting the bat on the ball. She does put the bat on the ball. Up the middle. Xena going for home to put the pressure on, but fortunately I had to play at seconds, so third out. 2 hits by the Hornets, but no runs. So going into the 5th inning, it's 5-0 Melonheads. Let's see how many more runs we can put up here. Unfortunately, I start off with Tony Del Vecchio and at bat and Stuart Sullivan on deck. Really a wasted opportunity there with Fernando's strikeout. So Tony's just going to try to nuke one here. About the only way he's likely to be very... Well, if he doubles, also, he could be useful. But definitely one weakness of my team composition is I don't have anyone who's both fast and good at hitting to make the ideal leadoff hitter. Definitely should have changed stances there. I expected that one to hook. It did not. Now the question is, can Tony beat Angelique to the base? He can, and Todd launches it past her for the double for Tony. Brings up Stewart, 3 for 3 with basically 3 singles and a questionable second base. Terrible pitch there by Todd. I might start burning through these Hornets pitchers more quickly now that they're to their bad ones. Frank came on as the first reliever, and then after I got 5 runs off of him, they brought in Todd as the next pitcher, for whatever reason. Angelique left in the top of the 2nd from being tired out. Lots of heaters and spitballs. Without giving up any runs, actually. So, all right, Alexis now the hitter with runners on 1st and 2nd. Going to go for power with Tony being a slower runner. Alexis barrels one down the line, and that gets past Xena. It gets past Cliff. Cliff's still able to throw it in time to get him out at 3rd, but Alexis and Stewart are both safe at least. 1 out now. Luann Louie the hitter. With Helton on the mound, could be dangerous depending on where Lulu hits it. She had a similar situation here last inning. Hit the ball straight to Frank on the mound, leading to an easy out at 3rd. And hits it straight to the mound again. Todd has a play. But throws it too hard. Xena can't field it. So everybody is safe on what before threatened to maybe be a double play. Yet Xena's fielding ability seems to be mostly in her arm, not her glove, at least when I played with her one season. Not a good first baseman. Alright, that brings up Tanya Uchida with the bases loaded and 1 out. Let's see what she can do. Hit a nice RBI double last inning. And a very questionable strike 2 there. 0-2 the count, as I was a bit nervous and didn't swing at a pitch I probably should have swung at. But blasts one towards right. That is off the wall. Petra gets it immediately off the wall. Nice work by her on that, but not going to go beyond that. Tanya holds at first, but everyone else is able to make it around and score, so it's now 8-0 on a 3 RBI single by Tanya Uchida. Tanya more than making up for the disappointment in the first inning. Angela now the hitter, 1 for 3 with a single. Let's try to avoid the double play here. Strike 1 on an unpleasant pitch. I'm really curious to see if I manage to chase Todd off the mound, who will come on next. That one is well hit, but just foul. And I think it would have been off the wall anyway. Yep. Hits the fence in foul territory. Tantalizing, but ultimately not quite what we needed. And is that going to be strike 3? No, it is. Ball 1. Where Todd goes to play next, though, could have a huge effect on how the rest of this game plays out. Angela hits one into the ground. That should be enough for Tanya to be... No, except... Oh, Maxwell throws it over the second baseman's head. Sarah Maxwell too good at behind the plate. Throws it over Terry's head, and what was going to be at least 1 out, quite possibly a double play, is now an RBI triple. A triple by Angela Del Vecchio. You don't see that every day. So Tanya comes around to score. It's 9-0, and Vicky Kawaguchi now the hitter. It's hard to tell how much farther I'd be ahead if you had a weaker catcher that I could steal second base on. It's hard to tell how much that would have gained me versus a couple of wild throws here. Frank gets it at shortstop, has no play at first, doesn't go for the play at first. Like, the advantage to having an arm at catcher here is that, now, I'd love to steal second with Vicky, but I don't dare to. Unless Maxwell royally screws up, then that would be sure to fail. Stephanie the hitter, 3 for 3 with 1 good hit and 2 more lucky singles. But still, getting every out she can out and hits a perfect one to the opposite field here. That's going to be Angela scoring. Stephanie having a fantastic game here. And Terry throwing the ball not much of anywhere to let Vicky get to third. RBI single for Steph, 10-0. Steph having a very good day here. Fernando, not 0 for 3, including a disappointing strikeout. Last inning to end the inning. Not going to end the inning here, though, unless he gets the unlikely double play. And Sarah Maxwell coming up to hit. Okay, this is interesting. Todd Helton is now the catcher. He does have a laser arm, but he's somewhat tired, at least from pitching, and he's much slower than Maxwell. One thing this is going to do, potentially, though, is kill me with any type of attempts for grounders. Maxwell is going to have some really legit mound defense, and hit straight to her by Fernando. He helps her out further. Fortunately, nobody's at first base to make a play, so Fernando is safe on a fielder's choice. This is interesting. If I can chase Maxwell off, then who the heck knows what happens next. But until then, hairy situation. Let's see, though, just how good Todd is behind the plate at this point. Tony Delvecchio, the hitter, a decent hit, will score at least one more run. Chooses to throw one past third. So that lets Fernando take second uncontested and lets Vicky score 11-0. Not a great look there for Todd. Runner on second now with 2 outs for Tony. Gonna go for the power swing because a single wouldn't do me much good with Stewart on deck. Might score me one more run, but I think it's worth it to go for the go big or go home strat here. Although, with a count of 3-0, we're threatening to be walked on 4 pitches, and that would not be ideal. Hits one towards left instead. That's not going to go out, though. I think Annie's got it for the 3rd out. And she does. A 6-run 5th inning for the Melonheads here. Slow start to the game, but we're really warming up here. Also note that I have 11 runs on 26 hits. This team is very good at leaving people on base and getting fielders' choices. Angelique takes strike 1. Her first at bat, she just watched all 3 strikes go past. Not going to happen this time as she does chase strike 2. Let's see if we can get another strikeout here, though. Nope. Angelique does put the bat on the ball, however, she is super gassed. Angela might honestly be able to run and tag her out. There you go. There's another play you don't see every day. Angela's able to grab the ball from by third base and run over and tag the runner out on the way to first. Terry Vega, the hitter now. I think lines straight back out to Angela on the first pitch last inning, and oh, whoa. Did all that running tire Angela out some, actually? That would be unfortunate, because that was a pretty wild right hook. Could use some more juice here. Fouls one off, making it tough for me to get the strikeout. And just misses the strike zone. Having trouble converting here. And after all that, Terry just hits one towards center. Stewart having a bit of trouble getting there, but is able to make the play. Terry only about halfway to first. Makes a relay. Tanya just gets it to the base on time. I will say the Hornets' lack of speed here in this game has definitely been shown to be a major weakness. It's made them a lot more susceptible to giving up hits in otherwise out situations, and this made their offense much worse as well. So Some people are able to get it done even with no speed, but this doesn't seem to be a team that can do so. I mean, Crazy made it work in last season, won the championship with a really slow team. But on the other hand, not been doing so well this season, especially on the defensive side. Hi, Crazy, we were just talking about you. Anyway, Frank's on first. Todd Helton the hitter now. If he hits a bomb, that's trouble. Otherwise, not too much of a concern. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Finally, another strikeout. And that's going to end the 5th inning. Going into the 6th for one more chance to score some runs. We'll see what happens. Melonheads lead by 11 right now. And we're at the top of the lineup. We'll see how well they do against Sarah Maxwell on mound. Ball 1 for Stewart. And hits a beautiful one down the third baseline. Even bounces past Xena. No play. Although, if that had been just a bit closer to Maxwell, that would have been ugly. You can see there she had a very good throw to first. If Barry Bonds or Sarah Maxwell could normally pitch, that might be honestly a nasty strategy. That would have been a good option for a Snop's team that didn't have any pitching if they could have gotten someone like Barry Bonds on the mound. Stewart is able to steal second off Todd, and the ball bounces past Terry, giving Stewart another free base. We're going to go for the trifecta, and we are able to. Todd just slow enough, and then the rest of the Hornets defense incompetent enough that Stewart steals home from first base on one batter. 12-0 Melonheads. No good for Alexis, though. Lanky line drive straight to Sarah Maxwell. Right now, it's like Maxwell is the glue holding this team together. Maxwell, and to a lesser extent, Annie, who is making every play she gets the chance to, but is not getting the chance with him. So, how many runs I score here might well depend on how many balls get hit in the general vicinity of Sarah Maxwell. 1-1 the count on Lulu. The good news is Maxwell is not an elite pitcher. The bad news is that was a very nasty pitch she just threw there. 1-2 the count. Might still be able to get it done. I only have 2 outs left to work with. Ball 2. Lulu hits one straight back to the pitcher, not for the first time this game. Actually, she might have been safe there if she had hustled a bit more, just with Angelique being so slow. Didn't cross my mind, though, so second out. 2 outs now, Tanya, and then Angela, the hitters. Actually, nah. I don't trust power with Tanya. I think she's better off with line drive and hoping for a good double or something like that. Double to set up for an RBI by Angela? Maybe. Two and 1 the count. And hits one up the middle. Nobody there. At least not right away. Annie is close enough to be able to throw the ball and make some sort of play, but just rolls the ball past first. Maxwell is able to get it, but doesn't go for second, so is Tanya able to snag another base. Look at that stretch thin defense. Really pushing the shift there. Runner on second, then 2 outs, Angela Del Vecchio up to bat. 2 full 4 with the single and the ultra-rare Angela Del Vecchio triple. Still no sign of a bomb, though, from her. Let's see if we can change that this at bat. Need something really good in order to keep this inning rolling. And blasts one. I think that's gone. Maybe. Yes! Just barely over the fence. Angela's dry streak is finally broken. 2-run shot for Angela Del Vecchio. 14-0 Melonheads. Alright, let's see how many more we can push out here. Vicky now up. I'm actually going to swap to line drive because my biggest priority here is to not hit the ball near Maxwell. And I think my odds are better of that with line drive than with grounder. To know the count. A walk would be a very convenient way to circumvent that small, very fast, strong throwing problem in the middle of the field. 3-1 the count. Might just be able to pull it off. And I am low for ball 4, so Vicky draws a walk in 5 pitches. The fact that Maxwell is giving up bases that easily just from the mound is not a good sign for the Hornets defense. Stephanie Morgan up, having a very solid all-around day here. 4 for 4 with 4 singles. Several RBIs, nothing super flashy, but it's getting the job done. Gonna take that and go for second base instead. Todd once again throws it past. I'm not quite comfortable enough with Vicky's speed, though. Yeah, I think that would have been in time to stop her from taking third, so I will stand pat with second base. One and one the count. 2-1. I sense a sub incoming, especially since I've already scored 4 runs off of Maxwell. One way or another, unless we get that third out, we'll have a new pitcher very soon here for the Hornets. And I think that's ball 4. No, strike 2. Full count now for Steph. Another very patient at bat, not the first full count she's had this game. Gonna swing to try to avoid the strikeout, but instead swings and causes a strikeout. Swung at ball 4, playing it safe, completely backfired, and that is it for the Melonheads hitting this game. Final run count for us is 14, which is better than anything I had in the regular season. Is it going to be good enough to win the game, though? We'll see. First, I've got to get the Hornets out here in the bottom of the frame. Cliff Floyd up first. Swing and a miss for strike 2, and grounds one up the line. Steph's on it, though. No chance for Cliff. First out. Alright, we are going to bring a fresh pitcher on here. I am a bit scared of Sarah Maxwell, followed by, well, maybe not so much Xenofro, but Angela's getting a bit erratic on the mound here, so we are going to swap around our defense some, and Stephanie's going to come on to close. Sarah bunts it, and I immediately am glad for the pitching change. I'd much rather have Steph handling that than Angela. 2 outs, Xenofro, the last chance for the Hornets to do some damage here. I'm hoping to get, what I think would be my 5th straight shutout. Been doing well at avoiding giving up runs after a very rough start to the season. Xeno watches strike 2. Does Steph have a good big freeze? She does not. Is she good at any of these? Good at the zigzag. Let's go for it. It's Consolation. Let's have some fun. Xena watches strike 3 go by in a zigzag, and so that is game. Final score, 14-0 Melonheads. Let's very quickly submit that and see what that result is for us. Give me the BYB bot. And final score is, let's see. Oh, wow. 14-10. Melonheads win, but only because we scored 4 runs off of the Hornets as an AI team. If the Hornets had given up no runs, then they would have won another tiebreaker, 14-14. So my AI coming in to cover for me and save my butt here. Whew. that was a close one, but we do take game one, so Melonheads now have the advantage. Need one more game to take the series. I'm not sure how well either of us will do in the next game at Casa. Melonheads don't perform so well there, but the Hornets might really have a tough time there. It'll be interesting to see. I'll play that soon, probably tomorrow. But until then, thanks for watching, everybody.